Hello everyone, I think we can begin.
That's great. Let's get going. Yes.
Okay. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are excited to have you join us today for this engaging discussion organized by the Co-INVESTIN project. A few words about Co-INVESTIN. Co-INVESTIN is a European initiative designed to connect deep tech startups with investors across the EU, fostering cross-border co-investments and collaborations. By bridging gaps between emerging ecosystems and venture capital, the project aims to boost innovation, improve investment readiness, and showcase the untapped potential of less visible markets in Europe. As part of our mission to bridge investment gaps and foster collaboration across European ecosystems, this series of discussions brings together key voices from the startup and investment communities. We look forward to a dynamic exchange of ideas and insights that can spark new opportunities and cross-border connections. This discussion is being organized with a purpose to be published on the project's website to ensure that it is accessible to all stakeholders within the ecosystem who wish to view it. I will leave you the link in the chat if you want to explore the webpage. And I would like to give the floor now to Mr. Philippos Zakopoulos, Managing Partner of Foundation, who will be coordinating this discussion.
Thank you very much, Theodora. As mentioned by Theodora, the idea today is to have an easy and open discussion. Bogdan and Dimitri, really thank you for being here. We have some audience here today that they may shoot questions at us, but the bottom line is that we're going to use the recording of today's session and try to get our knowledge and your knowledge of the ecosystems, the regional ecosystems, and have it open for other people that are interested to understand how investment works, and hopefully also maybe reach out to you. So I'm Philippos Zakopoulos, Managing Partner of Foundation. Foundation is an innovation consulting agency based in Athens, Greece. And today with me, I have Bogdan Iordache from Underline Ventures, based in Bucharest, Romania. And Bogdan, you're going to tell us a few words about your thesis, and also Dimitris Kalavros from Apeiron VC, based in Athens, Greece. Bogdan, very few words of what you guys do, and then we move on to Dimitris and we'll start the discussion.
Thank you very much, Philippos, for the quick introduction. My name is Bogdan Iordache. I'm a GP with Underline Ventures. We invest in the early stages of startups, pre-seed, seed stage, in companies that have Eastern European talent. We are agnostic when it comes to verticals, but we are more focused on two areas. One is AI, everything AI, from infrastructure to verticalized AI and agentic AI. And the second one, what I call real tech, which is the areas where atoms intersect with software. So that would be industrial tech, space tech, defense tech, energy, agriculture as well.
It's great. Dimitri, give us also where you guys stand and what are you looking for?
Thank you, Philippos, for the invitation. So Apeiron started with its first fund back in May 2024. So we're about to have our first anniversary in a couple of months from now. We do pre-seed and seed. We're based in Athens. We invest across Europe. Our first investment was a construction tech company out of London. The second investment is going to be in the intersection of cybersecurity and EV infrastructure. And we'll be looking to announce a third investment, I hope next month, which is going to be vertical AI in the logistics sector. So we will be looking two main areas, two very big areas with some subcategories. The two areas are Gen Z economy, so products and services targeting the younger generation. So either B2B to C, either B2 or B2C sort of venture and products. The network and anything in between. There's another big category, which is, I think, is a champion as far as Southeastern Europe is concerned, which is B2B enterprise software. So most of great successes from this part of Europe, Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, is coming from the B2B sector. So we'll be looking especially for areas like cybersecurity, like DevOps, like I would say smart infrastructure and digitization of industries. Looking to invest to up to 20 to 25 companies for the next 3 years.
Thank you very much. Let's start the main part of the discussion. My opening point is you guys are quite experienced in what you do, and you've been active in your regions and the overall Southeastern region for a while. And I was wondering, how do you see the current state of the market across the Southeastern region, focusing obviously on the VC element, but also on the startups, and what are you seeing active? Bogdan, I would like to start from you and get your perspective.
I mean, I can tell you my view of this. I'm super curious about Dimitris as well. I think in terms of opportunities, Eastern Europe or Southeastern Europe, CE, however you split this, they sort of come as a whole, in the sense that no country has significant depth in entrepreneurial talent. And because of this, in some years you see more startups popping up from Romania, some other years more startups popping up from Greece or from Bulgaria or from Hungary. But you have a grossly, stable, slightly growing number of opportunities coming from Southeastern Europe together as a whole. So, I mean, in the last years, we've seen, for example, less investment in Romania. We've done more investments in the ex-Yugoslavian and Bulgaria space. We're still to make our first investment in Greece. So we see a constant shift of talent from here and there. In the same time, as Dimitris was saying, we invest across Europe. We invest in Eastern European talent. And what that means in practice is that we are also tracking the diaspora. And I have seen a growing number of interesting diaspora-related deals in the last years. It may be just me. Maybe it's not a reflection of the opportunities in diaspora, but I think there is a generation that has left Eastern Europe and Southeastern Europe 10, 15 years ago, that now it's coming into maturity. So people who are now 30 to 35, they have left for university, and that generation of people will add some more interesting targets for investment as well.
What about you, Dimitri? How do you see the current status of our ecosystem here in this part of Europe?
So if you ask me, right?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I will definitely double down on a couple of comments Bogdan made. For example, the depth of talent. It is true that the domestic market, they're not significantly deep when it comes to a new breed of startup companies. And I think one thing that strikes me is that I would expect faster entrepreneurial circles, to be honest. So people who could, start something, test out the waters. If it doesn't work, move in the next 2-3 years to the next project, and obviously taking into account the first experiences and the failures, they will be more mature. We're seeing, I think, in recent years, for the last couple of years and for the last couple of vintages, we're seeing more people that are repeat entrepreneurs, which is a new trend for, I believe, this part of Europe. Another interesting fact is that since 2022, 2023, after the normalization of the market from its highs in 2021, I see more mature entrepreneurs in terms of founder market fit. What I mean by that is that it is the founding team. It has a very strong reason why they're after this problem they're trying to solve. Whereas in the first sort of years of our domestic markets, it was more like sort of generic entrepreneurship and first-timers looking to tap into opportunities, perhaps that could be a replication of ventures that were active and successful in other parts of Europe and the world. Nowadays, we see more genuine teams trying to tackle specific problems with backgrounds that make sense for this problem. I don't think that the Greek market either can really say that it has a very strong edge towards a specific vertical. Obviously, pretty much every single company we are in touch these days claims to incorporate somehow artificial intelligence, but in most cases, that's not the case. It's not part of the unique selling proposition, right? It's more like we just want to ride the wave rather than really building something unique. So yeah, that's perhaps what's the case for the Greek market.
Both of you mentioned that you are also active in other regions, and especially you mentioned that you're looking to Europe, and I understand more mature markets like Central Europe and other opportunities. Are you seeing the opposite also from your external point of view? Are you seeing our region, Romania, Greece, Bulgaria, the ex-Yugoslavian countries, to be more visible to international VCs? Are you seeing an influx of VCs from there here? Bogdan, can start.
Definitely. I mean, in our case, in our specific case, I'm based in Bucharest, and given the rise of UiPath, we have sort of validated this thesis that you can build a multi-billion-dollar company out of Bucharest. So it's not that we are drawing, incrementally more attention. I think we are drawing much more attention that you would expect. We have nowadays, funds from outside of Romania visiting Bucharest. I think at least on a weekly basis, and yeah, I mean, it is definitely something that has accelerated significantly in the last 2 or 3 years.
Are these funds coming to Bucharest and they're also approaching you, or they're trying to go directly and find startups?
I mean, they're doing both of these things, right? So ideally, they could connect with founders that are going to build significant companies, so they can be, they can have a direct report with the founder, but they also discuss with us and probably other local funds, so they can use us as a proxy for some of the deals that we are doing.
And also, Dimitris, before adding the same question to you, I will add something else. Before expanding the same question, we'll add something else. If you're seeing funds from other countries, from Central Europe, trying to approach Greece, and also what would be the case to enhance this? What can we do to enhance this even further?
Yeah, we see this. Obviously, we're in an outlier market. So what happens is that when you have a big success from a domestic market, an emerging market, for the case of Romania, I guess this moment was UiPath. I believe Bogdan will be able to give more maybe color on this. For the case of Greece was Viva, when it got partially acquired by JP Morgan a couple of years ago. We saw an influx of interest. So you had M&A firms, you had investors, late-stage investors trying to better understand what's the appetite of the local ecosystem immediately. And much like Bogdan's experience, they either use us, so locally based funds, as proxies, because I understand that when an international VC visits or is about to visit European capital, definitely it gets in touch with several of the domestic players that really cover the significant part of the market, and at the same time they try to also be in directly contract with them. So what we can do to foster this, I think we need to spend more time in spending time on the ground. I think Bogdan rightly pointed out that there are a couple of cases in their case of visit the city, they visit the local ecosystem on a weekly basis. I think we need to be able to spend more time where we think that good quality entrepreneurs and good quality teams are based on. And in the case of our region, Bucharest is definitely one of these capitals, along with Sofia, and it's really distinct to hear about the other countries from the region, from Bogdan's perspective. And at the same time, we need to do more as fund managers to quote unquote advertise our portfolio and try to build, in my viewpoint at least, meaningful sort of visibility touch points with later stage VCs before it comes to a necessity. And necessity is when obviously the startup company is out for fundraising. So our job is to regularly speak with our counterparts from across Europe and be able to identify specific cases that from our portfolio really outperform and could be great opportunities for co-investing with these funds. So these two, more travel, more evangelizing ourselves, our entrepreneurs we work with domestically into international ears and eyes.
Bogdan, any insight that you're willing to add? Anything more that you guys do that you will help you attract more attention from other VCs or other colleagues of yours regionally?
So I focused less on the regional aspect, and I focus more on the European aspect. And what I do, and it's very simple, I do, I don't know, at least 5-6 trips per year to London and Berlin, so we can meet Series A investors in person, and we can discuss our portfolio, the companies that are raising. So very much focused on fundraising the next round for the companies in our portfolio, and we try to build these relationships because we see, I think, on our stage, pre-seed, seed stage, we have never had an issue in finding co-investors. We've always filled in all the rounds that we have been part of or we have led. What we are now looking to maximize is the further acceleration of the companies in our portfolio by attracting Series A rounds, and we do this actively. We maintain communication with these funds so that whenever a company in our portfolio starts to fundraise, we can help them, provide them with a short list of partners from different funds that we know are interested in the area where they work. So we know the specific, like each fund has their own specific data points that they look at. We can provide them the entire context around the way these people evaluate deals, so they can accelerate the period of shorten the period of fundraising whenever the case.
If we try to stay on your last point and try to pick up your brains and also maybe help some startups that may be listening to us. If I do the question is like, when you're evaluating a founding team, what are the main characteristics that you prioritize, but also specifically if you think that our region has some specific characteristics that may be of interest to our other European funds. Dimitris, if you can start this time.
I mentioned before that one of the key aspects we're trying to assess when meeting a team is the founder market fit. So how fitting is the founding team in this specific area, in this specific market, in solving this problem? And if this problem is real, big enough and timely, because sometimes obviously some teams come too early to the market and they fail because of the market, not because necessarily the product was not up to its standards, is key. And I would say when it comes to pre-seed, this is for us, this is the main criteria, to be able to identify a team that has the fitting profile, the ambitious, as well as the potential to develop itself, because different stages of venture creation really require different sort of skill sets from the founders. So to be able to identify that the founding team can develop itself through the first years and stages of the company, it's very, very crucial. When it comes to seed, obviously, real market data, feedback from clients, and initial traction that could be early proof for a product market fit is essential.
Bogdan, if you want to add something to that, and also if you see any characteristics that are more specific to Romanian founders or the region of Eastern Europe.
I would add that there is one characteristic of Eastern European founders in general. I mean, not only one, probably a couple. I could mention a couple. So one of them is being generally very careful with the cash. They tend to be, to spend money wisely, to be to extract maximum out of the money that you provide them, and have this what we call cockroach mentality. Nothing kills you. Whatever happens, you stick to it, and you want to get somewhere from. Maybe you don't reach your planned point B, but you reach some stage, so your business works. So this is very, very important. And then the second thing, which is sort of a downside, Eastern European founders, they tend to be very, very rational and analytical, and they don't know how to impress you with good vibes. And I see this cultural schism even to Western investors, not to mention American investors, who really want to leave a meeting feeling good, feeling excited. And American founders, sometimes they can make you excited about the dumbest ideas, but they know how to make you excited. And this doesn't mean that they will be more successful at the end of the day, although being able to get somebody excited, be it an investor, a customer, a potential employee, this is a positive element. But we tend to lead with rationality and with critical thinking, and we sort of expect the same from our counterpart. I have a few boards where I'm joined by American or Western European investors, and I sometimes act as a translator in situations where the Americans are very confused because they don't know if is this a good thing? Like, I think it's a good thing, but why is the founder not
excited?
And why is he presenting things so calmly? So you sometimes act as a translator between these two worlds.
That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah. I would also add that many countries in Eastern Europe, they have developed sort of a national specificity based on some early successes. So, for example, Estonia is really good at B2C or B2 SME. They have really nice products, easy to onboard, great UX, great product experience. This is just something that, for example, in Romania is extremely rare. In Romania, most of our companies are super heavy enterprise companies who basically solve very complex technological problems, and then they deploy this with long sales cycles and all of that process. Now, one reason why this is the case is that Skype is the original company in that kickstart the Estonian ecosystem. And if you look at Romania, the first companies, relevant product companies in our ecosystem, all of them were cybersecurity companies. So that's the people who spun out of that experience, they learned how to build really heavy technology and then sell it to enterprise. And this is something that has stayed with us for decades now.
So moving to the last part of our discussion, if we try to become a bit more specific and also give us some more background about what you guys do, can each of you highlight maybe one or investment that you think it's interesting, maybe a startup you have investing, and also if you can find an interesting story where in this case you co-invested with somebody or some other vehicle. Dimitris, I will start with you. I know that this fund that you run now is quite early, but maybe if you can share maybe your last investment, if it was a sole investment or if you co-invested with somebody else. Dimitri?
This is for me? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Dimitris, if you can start this time, and then I will move forward.
I missed the part you mentioned my name. Okay, from our within right now, perhaps one of the less known companies in the Greek audience is one of the companies we are mostly proud of, which is coming from the University of Bristol. It's a spin-off of the university there in the composites space. It produces industrial scale 3D printers, I'll put it simply, for carbon fiber, which has a dual use. Main use is defense, but also could be used and could be utilized for automotive and anything that requires specific parts to be assembled and could leverage carbon fiber as a material. And this company, we invested in this company in the very beginning of the fund back in 2019 as a pre-seed investment. It was just a ticket of 150, the initial ticket, 150,000 euro. And last year they did a Series A of 25 million, led by NATO Innovation Fund, together with 8 VC. And they're in good progress of setting up a fully fledged production facility that could serve as the main sort of playground for some major contracts they're after right now. And I mention this because for the domestic market, I think our fund is mostly known for consumer-faced investments we made, like Instacar, which is the dominant car leasing provider in the country, or Spotek, which is also active in Romania and Poland. But it's really interesting that sometimes not the company that gets all the media attention from a fund portfolio is the one that will eventually, we believe, it will bring very significant value to the portfolio. We always try to be very, very collaborative, just to answer to the co-investment question as well. From the first fund, I think around 70% of the startups we invested in were co-investments, and from the second fund, now we're now closing the third deal. The first one is a co-investment. The second one is a co-investment, and most probably also the third one will be co-investment with subject matter investors. I mean, either syndicates or funds that focus in this specific area. So very open to be collaborative.
What about you, Bogdan? Maybe one highlight, and what was your strategy there, or your general strategy?
So we have. Let me start with saying that all our investments are collaborative investments. All of them. We don't have any single investment which we've done on our own, and that's also because our fund size is quite small. We only manage $20 million. The companies that we have invested in, I think the smallest round was 800,000 pre-seed. So there's just no way we can do rounds on our own. That being said, the way we choose our co-investors, or sometimes we influence the co-investors that are added to the round, it's very much based on the competence of the company that we are helping the finance with. So, for example, we have recently led a pre-seed round into a company called Designverse, who is building a solution for creating interfaces for enterprise development companies. Basically, instead of running your design process through a bunch of designers who do the nitty-gritty work, you can provide a system with a design system, like a series of templates, and you can describe what interface you want to create, and they create that interface in a component-based system, and then they provide the additional code. So for this type of company, we look for CTOs, we look for specialists who have a UX or product-led growth background, because these are the type of knowledge. This is the type of knowledge, the type of support that the founders are looking for. We have in the past invested in a company called Bible Chat. I mean, this is just one example out of our portfolio. Bible Chat is one of the high risers of the Eastern European industry, and they have raised money subsequently from Play Ventures, which is a fund specialized in consumer apps with a gamified system. So like very, very niche. So this is the way we think about co-investors. We try to identify the experience that they have and bring them into the existing round or into the next round in the company. And one other good example could be Tourneo, which have built a management system for all the experiences that you can have in a hotel, all the activities that you can have in a hotel. And they have been invested at seed stage. So we invested at pre-seed, and at seed they were invested by Bessemer, who is the Series A investor in Shopify. So because Tourneo for hotels is sort of a Shopify for e-commerce. So sort of a similar experience that they bring to the table for that company.
That's great. Before we move to our last question, I want to also open the floor. If any of you guys that you have joined us today would like to ask a short question for Dimitris or Bogdan, you can either write it on the chat or you can raise your hand and ask it straight shooted. Before we see if we have any question, one last question from me. Short, simple, what is your outtake for the rest of the year? I mean, Dimitris, I will start with you. Do you expect a lot of funding activity in Greece? Do you expect any new unicorns coming, or do you have any breaking news for us that you can share?
I think no unicorns from this discussion, at least from my side. I think the rest of 2025 will be characterized by the following. As far as equity fund generation of funds is concerned, so funds that were active and ignited in Greece in 2018, such as my first fund, we're starting to come into a closure. We're now into year 7 to year 8, so I expect this year and the following 2 years to produce a handful of news as far as M&A opportunities from the companies we invested as early as 2018, 2019, so pre-COVID. I think we're going to see increased investment activity as far as the domestic Greek market is concerned. Let's not forget that right now, I'm not really sure how familiar is Bogdan with this news, that there are 17 funds active and investing in Greece, 17, which is a particularly significant number, and Bogdan has a reaction in store for this. So I assume that most of these funds will invest and will produce portfolio companies this year, especially as a couple of these vehicles or more are active for more than a year now. I think lastly, we're going to see more efforts from a GP perspective to try to find specializations, because I think we all mentioned this, that we started as generalists, but it feels like, especially if you want to attract international investors, ourselves as GPs, you need to be able to really identify yourself and create a brand for yourself that's distinct and different compared to other funds, right? And I think from what I see, most of our fellow colleagues and our fund as well, we try to create and we try to build our sort of more unique approach towards where we would like to invest. This will come by the time, with the investment we're making, with the team structure we have, and our ability to convince both investors and startups that we're the right profile of investors for you. So pretty much what Bogdan was describing before when he was discussing how he identifies potential co-investors in terms of value creation and potential value creation. So this will be the case for most of the firms that want to move forward, in my point of view.
What about you, Bogdan? How many funds are active in Romania?
I mean, definitely less than 17. So that's not gonna be the case anytime soon. I think. I mean, we definitely have more than 17 funds, though, looking into Romania, if we include all the neighboring countries. So there is competition. There is competition everywhere. Sometimes competition becomes unhealthy because it's difficult to include in a fund enough talent. But still, it's good when you invest at the top. I mean, we do see significant rounds in our portfolio this year. We have announced one, and we'll announce more until the end of the year, definitely. We have started investing in 2022, and 2025 is sort of it's a good year because we see multiple companies reaching Series A stage and potentially beyond. So it looks good from this point of view. I think though 2025 is going to be a very special year. It has a mix of everything. More capital, less exits, unstable public market, unclear transatlantic connections, war on the outskirts of Europe. Will it go global? Will it slip into Europe? We don't know. Europe rearming and reindustrializing, rebuilding its industrialization base. I mean, you have a risk factor and also an opportunity factor in almost any element that you can think of: geopolitical, economical, technological, etc. It's like, you know, if in April the extraterrestrials will come, you know, then we're gonna have, like, that's it. There's nothing else we could add to this mix so far.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you really for the discussion. I would like to also ask if somebody else has a question or something that they can add, please do so. Otherwise, this chat as well as more chats will be available on the co-investing site that is available for you to look. We have a question from Mr. Alexandros Angelakopoulos. Let me try and...
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, there you are. Please shoot us.
My question is, what is the right time for a startup to start looking for a funding?
I don't know if Dimitris or Bogdan. Dimitris, do you want to start, and then Bogdan, you can add?
Well, if Bogdan wants, he can start, and I can jump in.
Bogdan, go.
There is no absolute answer. You know, some people say that you should start in advance, get to know the investors, get to know the market, and then use the information that you receive to better prepare your pitch and your presentation. Some others think that, you know, you can wait until the last minute and sort of try to FOMO the investors. I can tell you my preference. I like to build long-term relationships with the founders that I end up working. I want to know them, and I want them to know me and understand why they choose Underline as a partner in their business. So I think this is super important. It's a super important element of having building a company, working with partners that you can trust and you are aligned with, and therefore I would advise founders to spend time and look for partners not only for funding in advance of their round.
Dimitris, I think that was a all-round solid answer. Do you want to add anything?
Very, very solid. So I will echo what Bogdan said. Just keep in mind that you will about to enter into a marriage with this firm and this team. The average exit for a EU-based company is 7 years. So, you know, try to find your right partner in the very last minute and apply FOMO is not the right way to find the right partner. This will definitely, you know, create tension. This will definitely produce a relationship that even if somehow you manage to get into a marriage and you know, agree with this fund, if the fundamentals are driven by sort of FOMO and we're super sort of demand by the market, by the VC market, and you are likely to have us in your portfolio. That's not the right way to formulate initially a partnership. So doubling down on relationship building, we're people as well. I believe that venture capital is a form of startup. You know, I think Bogdan's team, my team, we're just a handful of people. We're entrepreneurs as well. We just want to make money, and we want to help you out, make your dreams come true. And you know, the same entrepreneurial anxiety you go through, we go through as well. So being able to sit down as human beings and have honest conversations way before the clock ticks, the funding round really makes sense and really solidifies and makes good relationships.
Okay, thank you.
That's great, guys. Anything else to add? Any other questions? Really thank you, Bogdan and Dimitris, for your time. It was honest and direct answers. For everybody else, you can find on the Co-Investing website this discussion as well as other discussions that hopefully can help you navigate your startup path or your venture capital path. Thank you, guys, again. Thank you, Bogdan. Thank you, Dimitri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. That was a great presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Can I have another question?
We only have Dimitris here now, but
it's okay for me. My question is, if it's difficult for a startup without AI software in 2025 to take a funding.
Sorry, Alexa, can you repeat because you broke up in the first part of the sentence?
If it is difficult for a startup without AI software in his product to take a funding.
Yeah, I mean, I think this amazing overhype we all experience in AI-driven innovation is definitely here and is here to stay to some great extent. But I mentioned before that the vast majority of the companies are actually are pitching to us. They do evangelize AI. They do try to convince us that they have an AI component. They don't. I don't mind. I mean, I do care if artificial intelligence is an important core element of the innovation that somehow really creates a unique and sort of defensible matter. Obviously, for example, AI agents into specific verticals do make sense. But if there is just an AI element for the sake of having an AI element in a company, it doesn't really make sense. The second investment we're making has really nothing to do with AI. The case is it's a cybersecurity company, as I mentioned, in the electric vehicle infrastructure market. So what we witnessed there is a top-notch team with really unique visibility and market knowledge. They're in the EV market for 6 or 7 years now. They have exited the company in this space. So their first company got acquired, and they're now repeat founders. So their solution won't have an AI element, but they have genuine, deep understanding of the market. AI is here, but it's not going to be everywhere. Within the next 5 years, there are industries that could be exploited without having per se AI day one.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander.
I will end the meeting now for everyone. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.